Guys, when they're like fighting and then kissing and then fighting and kissing, have you guys been in a relationship like this?
Not really.
Many.
You haven't?
No.
My current relationship is like this. So much so that so full disclosure, I think she'll be fine me sharing this. I am a public figure after all. She has to get used to it.
I'm a public figure.
I think we had a fight before we started watching this. And I love movies because it makes her have to love me for like 2 seconds at a time because she wants to enjoy the movie with me. And I'm watching this movie, and Rachel McAdams is just freaking out over nothing and then getting upset, but then loving him again. I'm like, I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is about your life. I just pointed at her. But I think a lot of girls feel that. And it's me too. Like, we are very passionate.
You're
people.
one of those girls. Yeah.
I'm one of those girls.
Yeah.
Marcus, I will fight you on this show.
So this is the first time.
I will fight you on this.
This is the first time that.
Welcome to The Cover, where three Hoosier friends judge books by their covers and movies by their trailers.
That's right. I'm Brett, here with my fellow Indiana natives, Remington and Marcus, ready to dive into the stories that keep us up all night and occasionally put us to sleep.
Whether you're a bookworm, movie buff, or just here for the witty banter, we've got you covered.
Each week, we'll dissect a different book or movie, sharing fun facts, hot takes, and moments that make Marcus cry. Spoiler alert, we're not experts, but we're definitely opinionated.
From literary masterpieces to blockbuster flops, nothing is safe from our snarky reviews and wild tangents. Who knew Hoosiers could be this entertaining?
So grab your popcorn and reading glasses because we're about to embark on a hilarious journey through the pages and screens that shape our lives. Or at least our weekends.
You're listening to The Cover. Let's get the show on the road before one of our kids wakes up.
And go.
And go.
What's new, boys, besides the fact that I properly told you Tarantino's favorite film of the 2010s was The Social Network, and Rem said I was wrong. Rem, you got anything else?
I think it was Martin Scorsese. I think that's
wow, we're going to open that way?
Well,
that's what we're doing? That's what we're doing? I'm going to store up all of my rightness for the next episode.
What is he doing in this movie right now?
How many Entourage fans watch our show? Listen to our show?
Know.
I would say of the fans we have,
70%.
Do
you know
55,
when I became
70.
a fan of Entourage?
When you watched it on the way to...
While I was driving to Olean.
Let's not talk about you driving and watching movies.
There was literally a point. We had somebody's laptop on...
It was Nick Lindauer.
I remember.
It was Nick Pruner.
Pruner's laptop.
It was Pruner. We were in Brett's car.
I was in the backseat of my own car.
And we're driving. It's on Pruner's lap. I'm driving. And I vividly remember passing a cop while watching.
The cop was like, is that Entourage? I love Entourage.
No, but it's funny. This is back in the day where you probably had 5 or 6 DVDs for a season.
Oh, yeah.
Of Entourage.
Oh, yeah. No. Not that many.
No.
Oh, actually, yeah, maybe.
I think so.
There was some bigger... I mean, no, Entourage was only 8 episodes per season.
Really? Okay.
In some
Because
cases.
it was
there were some
HBO?
seasons that were longer.
It was
HBO, yeah. But guess who I watched more Entourage episodes with than anyone? Elliot Allen.
Oh, you guys were roommates for a minute.
We were roommates for a summer, and our routine on Sundays was to, after we would work like 10 hours on a Sunday, just during the summer, by the way, and then we would get Burger King on the way home, and
broiled.
Eat Burger King while watching Entourage, and that was our routine for a while. I distinctly remember the Burger King.
Burger King fries kind of have little bubbles on the outside of them.
Yeah, they have like a little bit of a Rally's fry to it.
Yeah,
we mimicked our fries off of
You told
Rally's.
me Burger King crushes it in airports.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
really?
like their main thing.
They targeted airports before most. I just saw this reel that said that Chick-fil-A has less.
I can't remember the last time myself or my children
had Burger King.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you eat in airports? Now that Chick-fil-A is in airports, there's like the only reason you wouldn't have Chick-fil-A is if you didn't have time.
Chick-fil-A is pretty much the go-to.
I end up going to the restaurant that offers salmon. I literally will walk. Yep, I got it. It's like the only healthy thing available.
So you're a health.
Oh, I'm so healthy. I'm Brett.
I'm Brett. I travel and I eat healthy.
I travel so much that I have to eat healthy when I travel.
There's not healthy options. I'll tell you, when I'm at the Indy
really
airport,
need to come up with 9 words for this
going
movie.
to Harry Nizzi's.
Ooh, Yeah.
If I have
So
time.
that's where I
So
went.
we've
Indy
got
Airport.
healthy guy over here.
I went to the Indy airport and had hair and disease.
Yeah.
We've got healthy guy on this side. We got Marcus, who's not healthy, and then we got Rem, who's rich. That's awesome. That's great. This is a great
Seems
story.
Not healthy.
No, new
Not
life hack.
healthy.
New life hack at the airport is pre-ordering your Starbucks order before you get there. That is
On
now
the
available.
plane?
That was now
Like-
yes, that is now available per a
love
gate
that.
or whatever the case may be.
So
Do you have
you
to have the
land-
app? Do you have to have the app for that?
you do.
That's how
So
they
they're
get you.
getting better. Airports are getting better at telling you where the different, like if you're in a terminal, like Dallas has like what, 4 terminals,
The
5
Indy
terminals.
airport's so easy though.
We're
But that's
so
Indy.
spoiled on
But
that.
because of Indy, we have to connect at a ton of places. Charlotte,
true. That's
Dallas,
true. That's
Atlanta.
true. Yeah.
And so learning those airports and where those things are.
Yes.
Like Kelsey.
Detroit.
I have to have a Dunkin' coffee. She wanted Chick-fil-A. So I said, stop at Chick-fil-A, but she has to be with me. It's a weird thing. So
Do you
then
think
I went and got my
Chick-fil-A
Dunkin'. We
coffee's
didn't
that
have time
bad?
for Chick-fil-A.
You think Chick-fil-A coffee's that bad?
I don't look forward to a Chick-fil-A coffee if I have to have it. But it's not, I mean, Chick-fil-A is great at most things.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of their
So
coffee.
real quick before we get to our what's new, have I told you guys about my Spirit experience?
You flew Spirit? I
Dude.
forgot you flew Spirit.
Dude.
Yeah, you told us
Tell
you were
us about
going to
your
do
Spirit.
this.
Okay, so I mean,
This is important.
This is so Indy doesn't have direct flights, as Rem just said. So you're connecting everywhere. And the girl, Amy Lee, shout out, aka Amy Kmuth, she is like, "Yo,
Amy Lee.
I can get you on a direct flight on a different airline, first class for less money." And I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "It's Spirit, but hear me out."
I didn't know they had first class.
Well, there's more to the story.
Okay.
So it
I like where this is
includes
going.
your carry-on. It includes your
it includes
Wi-Fi.
lies.
It includes your checked baggage. But here's the deal: you get there. If you're checking a bag, you get in the front of the line. Okay, and then
it's like
you
Southwest
board,
mixed with like.
you board first.
I hate the
You, bo-
Southwest.
you,
Southwest is
board, you
terrible.
board first. It is not first class. It's literally called the big chair.
Okay. Is there 2?
It's a double chair. It's
Is
two
there
instead
2
of 3.
instead of 3? Then
And
then
it's
what's
all-
not first?
It's amazing. Okay, so
Oh,
there's
it's amazing.
It's amazing. There's no outlets.
Okay.
Okay, the seats don't recline.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
So here's what I
Do
would
you
say.
get served when other
So
people
go
don't?
ahead and pay for the Spirit first class.
She's like,
thing?
hey, before everybody sits down, do you want a coffee or whatever? It's great. The
Yeah.
only thing about Spirit that I've come to realize is you're flying. It's people that are like uppity that would be
Yeah.
offended by who's on that airplane.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not me. I'm like, what's wrong?
It's rowdy. Kids are crying, throwing things.
It's just people that maybe wouldn't be at an airport. And I'm like, this is
Basically
awesome.
a Thursday
you're-
night at the Mangus house.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. If you're flying Spirit and listening to us right now, we love you.
Dude,
That's right.
we love
I'm not
it.
We
joking.
need to get sponsored by
We're not.
Spirit.
We're not up.
I almost got off that plane
while we're
and
sitting in
got
the
a
double
credit card.
seat. While we're
A
sitting in
Spirit
the
credit
I almost
card?
got a Spirit credit
So you're
card.
flying Spirit from now on?
Dude, if you can fly direct from Indianapolis and you're there on time, would you do it?
Yes.
Yes, and that's
Yes.
it. If you're flying American, Delta, or South or United,
The only thing I don't know that I can reckon with is doesn't Spirit and some of those off brands get the old planes from the major airlines?
I think-
so they're older planes, right?
yes, for sure.
Yeah, but we don't have
100%.
any problems right now with the FAA.
Oh, that's true. No,
There's
no
none.
planes are going down.
Nothing.
Planes are great.
There's nothing.
Have you
going
heard
on.
of a Spirit plane going down?
Yes. Wasn't it a Spirit plane?
I don't know.
It wasn't? Okay, then
I
no.
don't think so.
Well, I'm just telling you, I had an amazing experience. Shout out to the Spirit crew.
Yeah, we don't hate Spirit.
Yeah, it was great. It was fantastic.
If we want to know about Spirit, I think our next episode is 11 Rings, and we'll hear all about the Spirit.
Oh, that's true. It is. I brought it up. It's a little new agey.
A
Yeah,
little.
a little new agey.
lot
But
of new
he
agey.
also mentioned saying the Lord's Prayer after games.
Guys, I got stats.
Hit us.
All right.
What's new, Rem?
All right, top 10 episodes from the last 10. Okay, I'm just going to read off these names, and
Oh,
you
these
guys
are
have
the
to give
top-
me the top 3 from the last 10 episodes
From
we've
the
done.
last 10.
Okay.
And the numbers are boosting. I don't know what's happening. Maybe our social
think it's
media,
our social media
with
crew.
producer Nate,
I think
and
so.
producer Riley.
Yes.
All right,
Can
so
you tell
here's
us the 10
in
episodes?
order from the last episodes. If you're looking at the app and you're not driving, pull over. If you're looking at the app, Count of Monte Cristo, Captain America, Barbie, Sonny Boy, Al Pacino's memoirs, The Matrix, Slumdog Millionaire, Social Network, Devil in the White City, Braveheart. Okay, those are your numbers. Give me the top 3 from the last 10 episodes.
That's the order in which we recorded them?
That
In
what
reverse?
I just
that's
gave you
reverse.
was the order.
Yeah.
Reverse. Okay, so Braveheart, I'm going to guess is in there.
Bro.
Your top 3 is what you're asking? I think Barbie's one of them.
Braveheart, Barbie, Slumdog.
Can you say them one more time?
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
Count of Monte Cristo, Captain America, Barbie, Sunny Boy, Matrix, Slumdog Millionaire, Social Network, Devil in the White City, Braveheart.
Okay, Devil in the White City, Barbie, Matrix.
Barbie, Braveheart, Matrix.
Devil in the White City and Barbie are both correct.
Nice, Marcus.
The next one is actually a tie between Sunny Boy, ironically, and Braveheart. So
Nice.
good
So
stuff there.
Interesting.
We both got 2. Wow, that's exciting.
Sunny Boy. So some of our books, like if you go to our all-time, our top of all time, I want to say, how many books crack our top 10 of all time, guys?
It seems like a lot.
Boys in the Boat.
4.
Boys in the Boat.
It's actually 5. 5 are movies and 5 are books.
Wow, our books
And
are
we do a
strong.
lot more movies than books.
Yeah.
So
Boys in the Boat is now number 2 all time, only being beat by one episode, which is what?
Remember the
remember
Titans?
the Titans?
No, come on, guys.
Green lights?
What do we talk about every episode besides Inglourious Basterds?
Gladiator.
Gladiator. So Gladiator's number 1 by far. Go listen to it.
If we ever do Inglourious Bastards, it's gonna be 3.
It's gonna skyrocket. So here's the 5 books: Boys in the Boat, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, Storyteller by Dave Grohl, Educated by Tara Westover.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm good for the books. You know, good for the people listening. You
Yeah.
care about books.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll read so you don't
I
have
like
to.
stats.
Welcome to the Cover Podcast. I'm your host.
Brett Wiggins.
I was waiting. As always, to my left is Marcus Megas. And sitting to my right is Sir.
I've been thinking about this. Just introduce us. I was listening to other podcasts. Just say our names and then we'll move on.
All right,
Just
I'm your
move
host,
on.
Brett. I
Let's
got
do it.
Marcus to my left.
But then I can't say the S.
Rem to my right.
You don't have to be sad about it. I'm not saying you have to have less energy about it.
I don't have
Just
to be sad about it.
introduce us.
I don't have to be sad about it. I am
Yes.
sad about it. I am sad about it. Sir Remington, what are we covering?
We just gave Brett a to-do. How about that? I love it.
It's not happening.
Brett, I'm gonna have to look up.
I'm
what
tired of
this
being your
is.
whipping boy.
This entire podcast is just who can get other people to do more work.
Guys with almost religious devotion. Duke, a kind octogenarian inmate of the peaceful nurse.
Octogenarian?
Yeah, bro, I said
No.
it right.
Hold on. What
Is it
what
genarian?
What are you summarizing right
I
now?
love when you.
Hey,
I love when you
I
read-
said that
you-
right.
You mispronounce at least
What's the
2
word?
words every
No,
time.
time out.
Octogenarian?
Octogenarian.
Are you
Well, what does that word even mean?
It
He's
means
got
you're
8
80.
genarias?
You're 80 plus is what it means.
He's a generation
You're in
of
your,
8?
You're in
8?
your 80s.
Well, let's just.
Octogenarian.
He's an octogenarian.
Okay.
He's an
Use
octagon.
What
the
do you
word-
want?
use
I'm
the-
doing
use
my
the-
thing.
Use the word Duke.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
boy.
Did you watch the movie?
Oh boy!
Start over.
Here we go.
Brett didn't even watch the movie.
Who's Duke?
Oh my gosh.
Really?
With almost religious devotion, Duke, a kind octogenarian inmate of a peaceful nursing home, reads daily a captivating story
He's
from
an
a worn
inmate?
out pages of his leather-bound notebook to a fellow female patient. To keep her company, Duke recounts the fascinating love affair.
What's happening
Brett,
right
I
now?
thought his
doing
name
my
was Noah.
thing.
I thought his name was Noah.
Guys, she's introducing him as Duke in the very first part of the movie. Are
but
you
he's
serious?
an inmate. He's an inmate.
This is just how they're describing it. And by the way, it does feel like a prison. And you're ruining my thing.
Why is we
Say this after I'm done. She says Duke. Duke recounts the fascinating love affair of this word.
He can't say
I hate
Poetic
that.
country
Why'd you
boy
make this
Noah and
one?
Allie, an affluent city girl. And little by little, Duke unfolds a southern lumber-scented summer romance beneath the tall trees of the late 1930s North Carolina. Indeed, It seems as if the silent manuscript possesses the unfathomable power to penetrate the opaque clouds that enclose the silver-haired dame. Slowly but surely, the enchanted lady becomes immersed in the strangely alluring fairy tale of the young ardent lover's highs and lows. But nobody knows what tomorrow holds. Are all summer loves doomed to fail? This movie is The Notebook, 2004, PG-13, 2 hours and 3 minutes. Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, director Nick Cassavetes. Screw you guys.
Are you saying what that
Duke is his name in the beginning of the movie. I don't know why that's what they call him, but that's what they call him.
They're trying not to trigger
They're trying
her.
not to let you know his name is Noah until halfway through the movie.
Trigger her, plus not let
They're trying not to trigger her.
But in the summary, why would you do that?
Because they're trying to be as aloof as the book, as the movie.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my
What are you even laughing
I
at?
literally thought Remington was not on the same page.
You know how distracting it is to read the back cover when Brett's
You know how
flying
distracting
back
it
and
is
forth?
to call one of the main characters Duke?
Did you know how distracting it is that you didn't watch the movie to know that they called him Duke?
Dude, I watched the movie closer than you've watched
Did you?
anything.
Did you,
Yes,
Brett?
I did.
Because really, she goes, "Hey, Duke's here to read you a story."
I'm never going to be able to come up with 9 words if I have to listen to all this.
Octogenarian.
Oh my god.
Jeez, oh Peters. How did you know what that word was?
I don't
Octogenarian?
know.
I
I drink
think-
and I know things.
Okay, on the podcast,
great.
not okay on social.
That's
I like
great.
it. There's context. What do we know going into
Did
it?
you guys watch the whole intro where they're rowing, or did
Yes.
you fast forward?
Yeah, oh, dude, I
the
absolutely.
rowing is important.
I immediately
Kelsey
was
said
like,
it's 20 minutes long, so I had the inside scoop and I fast forwarded it.
it was not 20 minutes.
I know. I
And-
figured that out 3 minutes in.
I figured that out when it took 20 seconds.
The birds. That was Boys in the Boat, man. I loved
Oh
it.
man, Boys in the Boat. That's a great book.
It's a great book.
It's a great episode of The
What'd you know
Cover.
going into it? Let me tell you what I knew going into it. I knew that this girl I dated in high school loved it, so we watched it.
Oh, quote unquote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remington, what'd you know going into it?
I knew that it was a girly movie. Here's what I'll say. I knew Brad Pitt was supposed to be a ladies' man, girly girl. Like all the girls had Brad Pitt's stuff. I knew that The Notebook was like a girly thing. So like growing up, I had like a bad taste in my mouth for like what chick flicks would be.
Gosling or Brad Pitt?
No, Brad Pitt. I'm just saying like when I was growing up, like people gave me certain perceptions of actors in movies. And then I started watching movies for myself, and I'm like, Brad Pitt's an awesome actor. Notebook is awesome, and I love chick flicks if it's the right chick flick.
Yeah.
And so watching this movie, not just chick flick, the story itself, when I know, because I've watched this a bunch of times, but when I know how this is going to end, my heart breaks as soon as he starts reading this story. Just
Yeah.
knowing the pain that people in their 80s have gone through for the last few years while they were building their family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this movie. It's a very good movie. Very well done.
I loved it. Loved
Yeah.
it. And I think young Brett definitely didn't appreciate it. Viewed it much the same way you're saying you did.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm watching it as an adult, as somebody who's been married for 10 years,
Totally.
it hits you way different.
So you watched it. So did you watch it when you were dating Marcus or when you were in high school or anything like that?
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I.
When I say 2006,
I don't remember what I knew.
2004.
I don't remember what I knew going in, but I'm sure that I watched it between 04 and 06 when I was dating a girl named Allie, by the way.
Oh, that's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
So she loved it.
Gosling has been
We watched
acting
a lot
for
of
over
movies together,
21 years.
Longer than that. I mean, he was in Mickey Mouse Club.
Crazy. Nuts.
And that's one of the fun facts is Britney Spears was on the short list to play Allie,
Oh.
reuniting him, and Justin Timberlake was on the short list to play what's his face?
I
Noah.
think he could do that.
I think Noah. I think he'd be a great Noah.
Yeah, he
I
would
don't
be.
know about Britney Spears.
This is one of those movies you
20
could
years ago?
absolutely remake.
Timberlake would have been. I mean, this would have been when he did Alpha Dog. Remember when he did Alpha Dog?
Yes.
Great movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved him in that role. I thought he did great. I think he would have done well in this, but
Nate
I don't know about Britney Spears.
Loved him in the Super Bowl. So we're going to go into synopsis.
So I think it's safe to say though, Marcus, that you watching it as a high schooler and appreciating it is nothing near once you've had 6 kids and then your parents are getting older.
Yeah,
Your grandparents are getting older.
all of these movies you watch differently with each age. And any movie that you can watch and appreciate, who do you identify with most as the teenager? It's, Allie and Noah as teenagers, right? Who do you identify most with in this movie? It's like, well, you find yourself, at least me, I find myself looking at the parents.
Yeah.
And
but
saying,
the parents of Allie and Noah.
Of Allie and Noah.
See, you're in a different stage. Your kids are getting a little older.
Yeah.
I didn't quite go there, but I definitely did look at the grandparents, like older grandparent
Yeah.
Noah.
Right.
Because I have
Because you
loved
have
ones that are going to
aging
die.
grandparents
And then I think about my own.
Watch this real quick. Remember the
great-
Titans.
great movies.
That's
That
Remember
is
the
the
Titans.
Remember the Titans
That is
face.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
the
watched that
face
and I
he
was
makes
like,
to Remember the
yes,
Titans.
I forgot, but I was going to say the only thing I knew going into this was that he was a liability at cornerback.
That's right.
but I saw that and I was like,
Getting beat like he stole something.
he literally pulled from this performance for that Remember the Titans scene because
Oh,
that
is
is the
this
exact
before?
same face.
That's the face he
Is
made.
this
yeah.
before
This is
Remember
before
the
for
Titans?
sure, right?
No. Remember
I
the
don't
Titans
think
was
so.
before.
Yeah, Remember the Titans
way.
was 2000. This is 04.
Yeah,
Oh my
this is
gosh,
04.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, then he pulled. Yes,
He's
that
got one move,
He's got
Nate,
one move.
producer Nate says.
2000, you're right.
We're gonna get into our 30-second synopsis and what it is. Marcus,
Nope, you're going
is
first.
gonna do his 9 words after I do my slam poetry. I expect an applause. High school, unfiltered passion, love. Allie and Jack, not Duke. It all started on a Ferris wheel, making out. A lot of making out. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. Why are you leaving? We'll be fine tomorrow, right? The war. You want to paint? So paint. Lon knew it was over the moment she drove to Seabrook. It wasn't over. It still isn't over. What do you want? She came back and gave the Jordan shrug. Noah reads this story to Allie every day just for the chance of one hug.
Oh, Brett.
Cute.
Brett.
That was less than 30
That was
seconds.
adorable.
You know, I had to make up for all the minute long
Guys,
ones.
when they're like fighting and then kissing and then fighting and kissing, have you guys been in a
100%.
relationship like this?
Not really.
Many.
Hey, you haven't?
No.
My current relationship is like this. So much so that so full disclosure, I think she'll be fine me sharing this. I am a public figure after all. She has to get used
I'm
to
a
it.
public figure.
We're actually, I think we had a fight before we started watching this. And I love movies because it makes her have to love me for like 2 seconds at a time because she wants to enjoy the movie with me. And I'm watching this movie, and Rachel McAdams is just freaking out over nothing and then getting upset, but then loving him again. I'm like, I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is about your life. I'm just pointing at her. But I think a lot of girls feel it. And it's me too. Like, we are very passionate.
You're one of
people.
those girls. Yeah.
I'm one of those girls.
Yeah.
Marcus, I will fight you on this show.
So this is the first
I will
time.
fight you on this
This is
table.
the first time
The
that
last person in LXG that tried to fight me didn't go well.
Okay.
Didn't go
But
well.
I think it's a little different.
we just saw the first scene that Allie's dad is on screen. Could they have picked a weirder or I just
He was
not-
awesome.
I'm
You
telling
thought the
you.
mustache?
I
didn't-
did not.
I thought it was great.
I didn't really.
I
I
thought
had
it
the
was- I
exact
thought it was great.
I
opposite
thought it was
take.
perfect.
I thought it was
Oh.
great. It was a great dad. I
Yeah.
thought he was a little aloof. 'Cause
I don't
he's not a
disagree with
Christian, so
that.
he's not going to have our same values. But if you're not going to be a Christian, that's the way to do it.
I was
Yeah, exactly.
I was disappointed with casting on that one.
Disappointed or
Yeah.
disappointed?
No, he's
disappointed.
great, man. He's great.
okay.
And the mom, I forgot that she comes full circle.
The mom, I forgot clearly everything.
She's an attractive older lady, by the way.
The
Thought I mentioned that.
Kind of like Jane Seymour.
Marcus, you were ready for that. Marcus was ready for that Jane Seymour.
No, I was not. I
Oh
was
my gosh.
just feeling. Just rolling.
I cannot wait to laugh without coffee.
Marcus 9 words. You ready?
Goodness.
I think so.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Did you watch Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman as
Oh,
a kid?
yeah. Absolutely, I did.
So then Wedding Crashers really threw you
Yeah,
for a
it was crazy. Yeah, just yeah.
Nate, do you know that Swaggy P meme when all the question marks are around his head? That's me right now. You post it. I don't know who Jane Seymour is.
Swaggy
You
P.
don't know who Jane Seymour is?
No.
Bro,
Bond
it's the mom
girl?
in Wedding Crashers.
The mom and Wedding Crashers, Bond girl, and Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Brother, you still don't know after all that?
Who's Mom in Wedding Crashers?
The main
mom.
Rachel McAdams, to bring it all together.
Motorboating.
She's not just another notch on your belt. I can't even quote it because we're not allowed to. Bro, here, we'll figure it out.
I got it. Marcus, 9 words.
Good luck.
Noah and Allie find true love. Will it last?
That's what. I think it's the first time you've ended a 9 words with a question. Producer
Maybe.
Nate, can you please bring up a picture of
I got Jane.
Seymour?
I got Jane up. Yeah, that makes sense. She
Okay,
She's
so
also
who-
is she in Liar Liar?
I don't know.
No,
That's not her?
No,
I can't remember.
You
No.
said that so confidently, but not
Well,
confidently.
I just know Jane Seymour movies, and I don't think she's in that.
You know, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You guys got to carry the show for 35
She looks
seconds.
like she's about 17 when she's in the Bond movie.
Yes, because that was before Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was in the 70s. I mean, she was one of the original Bond girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very early.
Very attractive. And very attractive as an older lady, as Marcus so kindly pointed out when I was talking about something nothing related to that.
That's what I think about is that specific like Wedding Crashers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, attractive
Like,
older lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Brett, what made you think, bro?
what made us stop and think. I gotta know if she's in Liar Liar. She looks like his boss in Liar Liar.
Hey, what do you guys think
Why
this
don't you
note
just
means?
type in Jane Seymour and then scroll over to 1990
Oh,
whatever.
I figured it out. I forgot so Duke, back to Duke, since you guys know who Duke is. Here,
James
Marcus, I'll
Gardner?
talk to you because he doesn't know who Duke is.
Support your local sheriff.
Duke, who's the main character, Noah, I forgot he lived there too. He literally moves in to be with
dude.
him.
By the
he
way,
is so.
This
Do
dude,
they
he's like,
do
doesn't
this?
matter.
I
She's
mean,
like,
what a great character.
what?
do they do this on accident? Did he turn his house into a nursing home?
So is that house the nursing home?
That's what it. And then
That's what it looks
And then they look
like.
out the window and they see the lake. They
It does
see
look
the-
like that's what it is.
I don't think it's the same place, but
It does look like it.
the bigger thing here is that in terms of chick flicks, Nicholas Sparks movies at least hit me differently.
What are they? He's got another one about an abusive relationship, right?
Well, he's got. There's,
His Safe Haven, is that his?
no, I don't think.
So what are the Nicholas
I don't
Sparks
think
movies?
so.
Producer Nate, pull up the Nicholas Sparks movies. What's the other one that
So the
reminds me?
Notebook, Dear John.
Okay,
is
that's
one
what I was
with,
thinking of.
with Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
What is it?
The Choice, Longest Ride.
Longest Ride.
So you like all
Longest
those?
Ride. Alan Alda's in that one.
Oh, I like Alan. So you like all these, is what you're saying?
So I like them all, and what's interesting is I wonder if it's because they're written. The original stories are written from the male perspective.
Oh, interesting. A romance novel from a man.
It is. It's a romance novel that a man is writing, and I've thought this for a long time. Is that I think that the reason that they impact me in a different way.
He wrote A Walk to Remember. Oh my gosh.
The reason that they impact me in a different way is
Love
because they're
Walk to
written from a
Remember.
man's perspective. A Walk to Remember. Yeah,
There's a song that's inside of my heart.
Yeah.
What's the chick's name? And Walk to Remember.
Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore.
She does a great job.
Yeah, she dates Vince on Entourage.
Isn't it fun that we're at the age now that people know people for
Over and
different
over again.
things than what they were originally known for?
What do you mean?
Lift
Like Mandy Moore, I knew her as musician.
Oh, yeah.
This generation.
Well, that's what I
knows
think
her
is
as-
crazy about
great.
older actors is some older actors will do. So I just saw a quote from John Lithgow. So John Lithgow that just got casted as Dumbledore in this miniseries. Did you see that, Marcus? He'll be great. He'll be great as Dumbledore. But he
I'm
literally
excited about the miniseries.
he literally quoted and said, "This is what I'm probably going to be remembered for because I'm going to most likely this will be the last thing that I do."
He said I'll be 82,
87.
87 at the closing
Yeah.
party last shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that's
Dumbledore.
something to think about. I mean, imagine like being an actor in the 70s, like Pacino, and doing these movies, and then all of a sudden doing like a cartoon right before you die, and everyone knows you for Finding Nemo. Like that happens.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, it's okay, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the people who are aging with him will always just remember him as like whatever, Serpico.
Well, I think this is this is the end of James Gardner's career, but he's great.
Yeah, he's an Oscar
so
winner.
good.
There's like 6 Oscar nominees in this movie. Everyone of note is an Oscar winner or nominee. And
Rachel
Gosling,
McAdams is one of my favorite
she's hands
actors.
down
She plays
top of
this
our
role
generation, and
very
Gosling.
well.
She is top of our
Gosling
generation.
is top
for
of
sure.
our generation.
I agree. Yeah, but
the
they
dude
both
is
are.
on an unbelievable run.
Yeah.
Like
Well, this
I
is
can't remember a
what
stinker
What did I say? This was our 4th or 5th Gosling
on
movie?
accident.
On accident.
Well, we can't really call Barbie a Gosling movie except for he won an Academy Award and no one else did.
I mean, let's be honest.
He is
Barbie's a
enough.
Gosling. Like,
Barbie
would I have
is a
even
Gosling movie.
would I have even given it a 2.7 without Gosling?
Without Gosling.
I don't know. I don't know.
2 notes that I made very quickly. Great movies are allowed to jump right in. There is no
Yeah.
build up to this. It is you are going fast. And then secondly, making out.
Dude, that's so true because they fall in love so fast, and then like halfway through the movie,
Dude,
you're like, what is left?
This has been screening for 20 minutes, and they are already in the house.
yeah, they're already in the house.
they're
They're
about
about
to
to have
be
the most
broken
awkward
up.
sex scene of all time.
He just
Dude,
takes
do you
off
think
his-
it's awkward or just like beautiful?
I think it's awkward, Marcus.
I think it's beautiful.
When's the last time you just
Well,
said, hey, let's kneel and just stare at each other for 10 minutes?
For the record, I promised Riley I wouldn't bring up any of the sex, but since you guys did,
Well, why wouldn't you?
Dude,
How
no,
could you not bring
time
it up?
out. Time out. He just takes.
How's it possible
He
that we
just
wouldn't bring
takes
it up?
off his pants and stands there and has been ready his entire life, and she is willing but not ready.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Because they're not married.
see,
Well,
Marcus. You
even
think
then-
it's you
I'm
think
just
it's
kidding.
like
I'm
this
just kidding.
because this might be your experience.
I don't know why you guys
With
did
the
what you said.
girls I ran around with, not my experience. Sadly, so
Yeah.
it's funny.
Well,
yeah.
I get that. I guess. I just, to me, there's not that like
It had friends like Chandler and Monica vibes to me, where they're just like, I guess we're doing this. Let's look.
not that. You guys are missing it. Like you're missing.
Listen,
you're
I
missing
get that how
what's-
it could be beautiful.
Yeah. Like it's very pure, even,
Innocent.
even though it's
Innocent,
it's
yeah.
very pure, even though it's premarital. Like it's very innocent and pure. Like they both love each other. They both know that they want this,
Yep.
but they both want to respect one another. And
I like that.
And what's interesting is that because they're so far away,
Yeah.
it's actually more intimate.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of Titanic in that way, right? Is that she says that
Draw me like one of
that
your French girls.
when he was drawing her was one of the most intimate moments of her life. Well, the idea of them being that far apart and just kind of slowly undressing, it was very intimate.
Riley was worried you're gonna ruin the movie for her. She's gonna like it more.
Yeah.
she's
it
gonna
was
like it
very.
more.
Okay, I
it
gotta
was-
watch this again.
It really was very intimate, and I think that's beautiful.
By the way, so one of the fun facts, look how thin and young he looks in this. So they shot the back half first. They shot the back half. He lost 20 pounds
Oh,
to
wow.
shoot the first part. But
You
he
have to do
does
that.
look visibly younger.
If
Yeah.
you have to put weight on during the movie, that's how you
One
have
of,
to.
You do
one
it
of my
first?
notes
Yeah.
as Count of Monte Cristo
Because it's easier to
as
lose weight
example.
faster? Why are you saying that?
You're gonna lose it faster than you'll gain it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's
kinda-
not what they did for Castaway. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, they did. But it took him 2 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, he was. I mean,
Real
that's
skinny.
different than.
But that's just a commitment for a movie.
Well, McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club, right? He lost.
Yeah, but he
a
didn't
pound.
have to. They didn't pause filming
Right,
for
right.
one character.
My point about Count of Monte Cristo is it's ridiculous to think that we would forget who this guy is in 10 years. He didn't look any different. This is a believable 16 to 26.
You just gotta sneak that in there. That terrible take you have.
It's the truth.
That awful take.
No,
the
he's
point about-
literally
the point,
he's
the point
He's
about
trying to
this is
sneak takes in so that we just
Gosling-
agree with him.
unbelievable.
Gosling is actually like you're like 16, 26, and you're like I believe it. They do a really, really
Cool,
good job
Brett.
of it.
I believe it in Count of Monte Cristo too.
The second point that I was
honestly
making.
guys from like 30 to 55 look pretty similar.
But not 16 to 26. That's my.
There's a difference there
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very impressive. Making out hardcore in the movie theater and not caring who watched. I know that's not necessarily your guys'
Resonated
high
with you?
school, dude. That was 70,
that really resonated with you.
well, because so Eric. and
you
I
never
can't-
made out with Jessica in the movie theater?
No, I mean I've kissed Jessica.
I keep calling him Eric, whatever his name is. What's
it's Kevin Connolly.
Yeah, that's what they call. His name's Kevin.
His name's Kevin.
Okay, so
His real name's Kevin.
In this movie,
No, no, no,
I don't know what his name is in the movie. His name in the movie.
So Noah's best
Is Finn.
friend
Finn.
is
I
hardcore
was
making
close.
out with this girl
Okay.
in the movie theater,
Yeah.
and I'm like, gosh, what an idiot! And I'm like, I was the idiot.
No,
I was
yes.
the idiot.
I-
I mean, genuinely not caring about, but that's young love.
I haven't.
Who cares though? If you're watching the movie, what do you care if someone in the third row is doing that?
Well, I personally wouldn't care, and I wouldn't care if I was the one doing it. But I've never dated or been with someone who cared.
This is like 13, 14-year-old, but I have opened my eyes and made eye contact with someone sitting behind me while making out with someone. I mean, that's
When you say 13 and 14, when you tell me these stories, I'm like,
you're like
gosh.
Reed's 12. Yeah.
No, he's turns 13 in like 10 days.
Oh,
Well,
man.
little bit different upbringing, but yes.
Yeah, Reed doesn't.
You know.
Reed's like,
Ew,
Reed's like,
gross.
Ro-
Does he listen to the cover?
Maybe.
The girls are
he
gross.
probably listens. He probably listens. Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Took me back.
Want to dance with me? No, that's Kelsey. This whole first part of the movie is Kelsey.
Well, the making out. Okay, we'll go to the making out real quick since you've been there.
Yep.
Or since you went there, the like finding places to make out.
Yes.
Or
A lot of cars.
or like making out in the car as you're dropping off the girlfriend. That
As you're driving.
100%
Yeah.
resonated.
dude, young love is unbelievable.
The teenage hormones are real.
Yeah.
Very real.
They're very real.
Very real.
And they definitely captured what
Yeah.
it is to be like, 17, 18, 19.
And the
don't
whole
care how-
summer love thing too, by the way, like not just being rich and having a summer house, but going somewhere for a short time, like a summer camp or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy how quickly you can quote unquote fall in love in those scenarios.
So
I
find it, no matter how professional these two are, don't you think it'd be hard to film that much with that person and not establish some sort of spark?
I think that'd be really difficult.
Well, I got a fun fact that's going to ruin it for all the ladies.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
So it ruined it for my mom, at least. She just told me this today.
No idea where you're going now.
Gosling and McAdams did not get along. Ryan tried to get her thrown off in the movie early on.
Oh, interesting.
The director, which, by the way, Cassavetes is in Entourage. I know we keep going back to Entourage, but he's like this. He's got neck tattoos.
Yeah.
He's like shooting the scene in the car in the front seat with like, all this stuff. The fact that he does chick flicks as a director. His mom is the one that plays Allie as the older. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, she actually does currently have dementia and has lost her memory completely at the age of 92.
man. That's so hard.
He was
It's
just
just
interviewed
impossible.
about that. So, like, how many
I
years
hate
later?
that.
But that's not the fun fact. The fun fact was, what were we talking about?
Well, Gosling and McAdams.
Oh, they didn't get along.
Yeah.
So Cassavetes.
That fact ruined it for your mom?
Well,
even though the movie, they
I'm
have incredible
more
chemistry.
impressed by them.
Well, that's what I said. But not only that, Cassavetes locked him in a room, said figure it out, and then they did, and then they actually had an offset romance.
Oh, they
afterwards.
did. Oh, they
So that was-
figured. They figured.
They figured it out. Yeah, he locked the room. There was some smells.
So they did have an offset romance. It did. There was.
Afterwards, they had an offset romance.
Okay,
So
well,
like I don't know why that would ruin it.
I mean, that happens all the time.
When my mom
and-
said that, I was like, I know other women feel that way.
It happens all the time, and it happens specifically because if you're gonna go there as an actor,
Yes. If it's going to be believable.
I mean, there's actors.
Unlock your heart.
What's the? There's. Oh, I'll have to find his name. The guy that's in everything, but he's a
Samuel L.
Christian.
Jackson.
No.
Kirk Cameron.
Oh.
You're white, so you've been Affleck.
I'll find him. I'll find his name because I can't. Come
Stephen
up with
Baldwin.
it. Would you
Here's
guys
something-
just keep talking?
you were
so I
talking
can
about
do some
summer.
research?
Christian actors, I want to get this.
Okay.
What's he been in?
I'll find it.
Hold on, give me clues. He's a Christian
He
actor. He's been in
doesn't know-
everything.
He doesn't know either.
Yes, he does. He can see the face.
He's looking
No,
it up.
stop. What movies has he been in? Stop looking it up.
He's in Walking Tall. He's a bad guy in everything.
Walking
He's
Tall.
super white.
Can you give me a better movie that I might have seen?
No, he's in a lot of those kinds of
said
movies.
he was a Christian actor.
No, not
certain
the
lines
Rock.
he will
the
not
guy
cross
that's
and
the
he does
guy
not get
that's
rules.
opposite of the Rock in that movie. I'll get there. Would you guys just keep talking while I get there, please?
Wait. Oh.
Anyway.
Fun fact, because you made me think of him. Lon in this movie is
Which one are you pointing at? Who is this guy? Michael Abawamawati?
I'm guessing that's not the actor Mark
That's
is
not
talking
him.
about.
Neil McDonough?
That might be right.
Nate,
okay.
IMDb lists it in order
Oh,
of
Knoxville.
appearance.
Johnny Knoxville is not who you're talking
So
about.
it's like not in order of importance.
Yeah, Neil. I'm talking about Neil. Neil McDonough. This guy's a Christian.
Okay.
But he won't kiss another woman.
Yeah.
So he always
So it limits his roles.
So
Smart.
he always gets cast as a villain.
Or
in essentially every role. So he's in a ton of TV shows. He's in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He always does a very good job.
yeah.
But
That's an interesting
he's very
that's an interesting
limited as
take.
an actor because he won't do a kiss.
That is interesting.
The Mike Pence of film.
How they go for pets.
Summer made me think riding your bike everywhere. Them riding their bikes. I rode my bike miles to jump fences.
Yeah, the
and see
whole
girls.
Oh, yeah.
the entire summer, like there was an entire summer where when I was in high school, I would get done working at 2 p.m. and then go hang out with my girlfriend and our other friends. We would go out on the lake, and this just brings back those vibes entirely. It just entirely. And that was 2004, by the way. So exactly when this movie came out. So maybe that's what it is. But
There's tons of moments of great acting. I thought one of Gosling's best moments is when his dad's telling Allie about his stutter. And he's like, Dad,
Yes,
his hands are up.
yeah.
I really do like the portrayal of the parents. It'd be very
The
easy.
parents are great
It'd
in
be
this.
very easy to have bad parents in a movie like this. Like that would be part of the storyline is that the parents were like, I don't know.
One of Riley's takeaways from the movie is that how well everyone handles every situation. How Martha handles Noah finding his love. And how she's like okay with it because it gives her hope.
Not cool with that kiss though. What the heck,
Yeah,
Martha?
but
Will you
but
need
the way-
one more kiss?
but the
I'm
way-
sorry, Martha.
But the way that
you
Allie,
had your time.
The way that Allie handles that, the way that
Sure, but in the back of her mind, she's like, I will slap this girl.
the way that Lon handles that, like it's just. And what I told her was a little bit of movie magic because people aren't that way, but it is sweet.
So that's
It's
my
endearing.
main criticism of this movie.
There's a lot of movie
is that
magic.
It's just too perfect.
There's a lot of movie magic. There is. Oh, you mean a guy that isn't even supposed to be in a nursing home gets special access to a girl that he upsets every single day by the end of it in a nursing home?
So
it's
Is
never
his
happening.
wife of 50 years.
It doesn't
No.
matter. They would
Yes,
be
it
like,
does.
they would be
No,
like,
it
you know
doesn't
what?
matter.
A nurse would have empathy.
No, they
a
wouldn't.
nurse
No,
would
they
absolutely
would not.
have
Oh,
empathy.
I'm gonna go get a coffee.
Yes,
and
that would
not check
100%
on you,
happen.
And
No,
I'm gonna let you.
It doesn't work that way now, man.
No.
It doesn't work
No
that
way.
Now,
no
I'm
way.
just-
You're not going to find one nurse that's like, I don't care how it works. Go ahead. It's your wife.
Not only that, but a doctor and two other nurses that have to hold her down when he gets this one
That was
moment with
different.
her.
That was different.
This
And that
is-
was sad.
This
was
is-
sad.
It is beautiful. It is a beautiful
It is
film.
It's beautiful. Agreed.
However, it's so like everything happens like it should happen.
The least believable character is the rich dude that's just totally fine with her leaving him.
Lon.
Is that the fiance?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because you're the rich dude on the
Oh.
podcast?
By the way, that is Rem is regretting every moment he's dialed in as
Where
someone.
did that come from?
uh,
When did I become the rich guy in the podcast with Brett going to Budapest tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe when you spent $78 at Harry and Izzy's for lunch on accident, waiting on your flight.
Okay. Was that even this episode? Is there continuity in this episode? Good Lord.
Dang it!
How much money do you have,
I
Brett?
really pushed a button there. I really did. I saw his face and I said, "Oh, that was a good comment."
That reminds me of the Four Christmas. Mock me for being educated. Mock me for having money.
Okay, we talked about making out in weird places.
Well, you talked about that.
What about making out in super weird positions? Because that happens.
Brett
in
loves
this
them
episode.
making
takes
out.
it.
Brett
the
loved them
notebook-
making out.
Yeah,
Brett loved it.
apparently. Do you guys watch people make out? I'm like, no.
I've never
But
watched people make
It
out.
took me back to high school. It did.
Well, I take that back. I did once.
All right, let's move on.
Anyway,
Oh, hey, I wrote this down.
Dude,
the scene where they're
the balls it takes at the very beginning, the balls it takes for him to go
on
and
the Ferris
hang
wheel
on that Ferris
Yeah,
wheel.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
That's great. And when she's with another guy,
Yes.
and the dude's just like, all right,
So
this
this
guy's
is kind
this guy's
of
doing stuff I would never do.
this is kind of me and Jessica. This is kind of like Jessica and I's situation.
Was she dating somebody?
She didn't want you around.
Well,
didn't-
it wasn't that she was dating somebody else. It was that. So I was this kid from Wabash College, right? And I'm working at this Pizza Hut.
Yep.
And she's also working at the Pizza Hut, where literally 3 of the guys at Pizza Hut all want to date her.
Okay, aren't you the manager?
No, I
Oh,
wasn't.
so you're
the
just
manager.
you're just working.
I just showed up.
Okay.
So I knew more than most of them because I'd been working at Pizza Hut longer. But
I thought he was going to say, I knew more than most of them because I went to Wabash.
Yeah.
well, I
And they
had-
were locals.
Now to be-
Toothless locals of Crawfordsville.
now listen, I had just started at Wabash. Was I smarter? Sure.
So time out. You had
Two
worked,
of them were her
let's back
stepbrothers.
this up. Marcus had worked at the Bremen Pizza
The
Hut
Bremen
previously for a couple years.
yeah, like 2.5.
So he
the other
comes
2 were
in-
Jessica's cousins.
Yeah.
They-
Anyway. Now he's making fun of Crawfordsville, and we could do this all day.
By the way, she was still in high school.
She was.
I knew more of them because I was in college. I was a
She was
college
in high
boy.
school. Anyway, these guys definitely
Don't come at me,
were
Marcus.
angry at me for showing up and stealing her heart. And so I just love that because I swooped right in and took her away.
I love how Marcus can make himself sound like he was hanging 100 feet near from a
And then
Ferris wheel with pizza dough.
Well,
you
yeah,
guys
really
know-
what I was doing was putting cheese and pepperoni on pizzas
Do you
while
guys
she was
know
doing specials.
where
but,
the first
you know,
Ferris wheel was unveiled?
I do.
Where?
The World's Fair in Chicago.
1893.
Come on, man.
1890 something.
It was 6.
I thought I was gonna say 6.
No, it
That's
was
what I
early.
was gonna
It was
say.
early.
3.
It might have been 2.
Nate, it was.
I think it was
6.
1893.
Let's just call it the 1890s broadly.
No, we're
Anyway,
gonna
how
call
do
it
you guys know that?
1896.
Wow,
Was it
those
the cover
guys are
podcast?
naked. My goodness.
Yep.
Devil
I
in
don't
the
think
White
I
City.
realized how naked they were.
They were holding it.
Yeah.
So speaking of scenes, we're
Remind me of
screening
getting
this in the
hazed.
background. Oh, before
93.
let's give some context. They're going to the war and they're being stripped for their weighing in.
Yeah.
World War II.
All right, but the scene where they're sitting around, talking about good directing and good cinematography, they're sitting around the table at a white linen, white clothing, like a not white tie, but white clothing in the
It feels
South
very
in the
country
summer.
He's got
club,
black on.
Very country club.
And
He's
he has
wearing
black on.
black.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
I
wearing
wrote
black.
that down
Even
too.
even E is wearing white. His
Yeah.
best friend.
Well, he was more high class.
Do you think the girls know that we're talking about Finn when we say E?
I don't know.
Because you went right past it, and I love it.
I didn't even
so
think
E
twice
was more
about it.
high class because he's working the same yard that Gosling's working.
Is he from a different family?
I don't think so. He's working the same yard Gosling is, so I don't think he's rich either. I just think they really wanted to show the contrast of Ryan Gosling being poor.
Well, that worked.
And Finn had been dating that girl for a while. So it feels like she's best friends with Allie or good friends. So maybe he's more acquainted
That was
with.
totally orchestrated, by the way, and a great orchestrated first date.
What do you mean? What's
The movie where the friend invites her to come along, and
Yeah.
then like, oh, what a coincidence!
Yeah.
You're here. You remember him, right? Totally orchestrated, and I 100% did that with
Oh,
Jessica
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I did that. I did the exact same thing. Her, we were supposed to go out to Steak and Shake. Myself, my friend. This was the very first date that Jessica and I'm putting that in quotes for anybody just listening. Very first date that Jessica and I went on was it was supposed to be her and her best friend, and then me and another buddy from college, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a date. It was just kind of like hanging out.
Yeah.
And then she texted or called me or something and said that her friend wasn't coming. And I was like,
Nice.
bro, you're not coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to this. So
You should have said, I can't make it either. My buddy's coming.
I've been told today kids don't do dates; they do group stuff.
Good. I love
that's
that.
actually not
That's
terrible.
great. That's great. They should absolutely do that. Dating groups first. What's the point of singling?
No. They don't date ever. They
just
always
group hang.
Yes,
Cool.
always.
Cool. Because we're talking about high schoolers.
Well, to some point.
I'm not saying they shouldn't go on dates and treat ladies nice and get them flowers and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, as for the majority of time, spending time in groups, like we're forcing dating on our kids. I think in some cultures where it's just like, why?
I don't disagree with that take, but I believe it's born out of what am I going to talk about? What I think it's born out of something negative, not positive.
Oh, really?
Is my take.
Oh,
yeah.
kids don't know how to socialize, so they
Yes.
hang out in groups.
Yes.
Like they're
But it's better than them
nervous,
not
or
doing
they're-
that. At least they're with people.
Or they're unable.
I don't know. They think they're unable.
By the way, I have 3 chapters. I think I have like an hour left of The Anxious Generation.
Oh.
Dude,
Yeah,
get
very
your
good.
sister to listen to it, please. Please.
My sister
Not-
being your wife.
Not because not because
By the way, the cop's boss's boss.
Are we back on that?
I want to know. I want to
Hold
know.
on, give the retake. So what episode was that?
2 episodes
Once
ago,
upon
right?
Count of Monte Cristo. You did a What's New, and your kids have been picked up by the cops because they were too young to be walking on the street.
Yeah. So I am very
That there's
good-
no law against.
But there's no law, and
Yeah.
you go back and listen to that for the story.
Well, I'm very good friends with their boss's boss.
The chief of police?
He's not the chief; he's a lieutenant.
Okay.
But he's the boss's boss. And to their credit, he basically said, "Hey, we were wrong. I apologize. You were not wrong. Did you know that in Indiana, actually, there is a law that says your kids must obey you?" So he said, even if you would have made your kids do that, they shouldn't have done that. And
Hold on. Even if you made them what?
even
Even
if I would have made like if
Like
they
against
didn't-
their will.
like
Against
if
their will.
they didn't want to walk to the store and get milk,
They have to?
and I made them do it, then per the Indiana law, they are supposed to do that.
Kind of a messed up law.
I
Keep
don't
going.
really.
I think that could be abused.
It absolutely could
I'm just
be.
I'm
What's
making
the
the
alternative?
point that that's the law. Anyway, we're setting up a time for him to actually talk to them about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Because
Give 'em
the
their
hard thing
confidence back.
because the hard thing for me was how do you tell your girls that the police were wrong?
Hmm.
Well, if the police tell my girls that the police were wrong and
Here's
then
my
they
question.
apologize and they say, hey, you're completely within your rights to do this, then that builds it
So
back
wait,
up.
just to be clear, the meeting is set up for your girls and these officers.
No, their boss's boss.
Their boss.
I would
Okay,
much rather be the officers.
I thought what but a police officer will meet with their
a
girls.
police
and
officer
dude, that's
that
awesome.
they know him. They know him as well.
Because that was the big fear was that they would believe
Well,
they did something
killed
wrong.
their confidence. It was doing the opposite of what you
also,
wanted.
what do you do as a dad? Because like you want them to respect authority,
Right.
And the authority in this case was actually wrong.
They put you in a position where it was a catch-22.
Yeah, the authority was wrong.
Yeah.
So
By the
how
way,
do you, how do you deal with that?
We're screening Notebook in the background, and she fell in love with Cyclops way too fast. Like, instantly fell in love with him.
No,
He's
dude, he
the rich
was
version
great.
of Noah.
He was awesome. Are you kidding me?
So-
James Marsden crushes.
You mean
was great.
you mean Sonic's dad?
Sonic?
I think I mean Sonic's dad.
I said
Sonic's
Cyclops.
dad.
Yeah.
So he's an X-Men.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
nice.
also Cyclops.
So the line where
He's a great character in this.
the line that
Maybe the hero.
who's the narrator? But basically says as soon as she
Noah.
said, "Is it Noah?"
Noah's the narrator.
Oh yeah,
As
yeah,
soon
yeah,
as she
sorry.
said
James-
yes,
James
or
was
as soon
the
as she
thing.
saw the ring, she
Duke-
didn't
Duke-
feel.
No, as soon as she said
Duke
yes,
is the
she
narrator.
saw
Duke /
Gosling's face.
Yes, she said. Well, Noah's face, Duke's face. Yeah.
a liability at cornerback.
Shortly after this, Noah sees her in town at lunch with him.
Yeah.
He sees her
Such
kissing.
restraint.
Dude, watching the girl of your dreams with someone else is straight pain, dude.
Oh yeah.
So this
It's
is
pain.
So this is
oh yeah.
I know Riley's listening.
especially on MySpace.
And this is
Oh my gosh.
this is where she's wrong on the did everybody act correctly?
Uh-huh.
And I have no qualms
Yep.
with the way that Ryan Gosling's character Noah / Duke acts, but when she comes back to his house, he's like, game on, I'm gonna win her over, even though she's engaged. Is that right? I don't know.
I think engaged is engaged for a reason.
I can tell
It is
you that engaged is not the same as married.
It's not. It's not.
I can confirm.
I'm not encouraging people to split up engagements, but what I am saying is there's a reason there's engagement and then there's marriage.
However, if you were gonna pick a fight with that take, that's the spot to pick it. Because he basically says, "Hey, I'm gonna win, and that other guy's gonna lose."
Here's the only reason I end up agreeing with Noah, because, and again, he didn't know it at the time, but I kept on asking Riley, dude, when are they going to bring up the letters?
Here's the thing, bro.
when are they gonna
Yeah,
bring-
but would she have been just as happy with the other guy? I think so.
No.
I think she would.
I
No.
think she would have, but she would have been okay. We know what she'd be like because her mother took that path. Her mother literally says, and she lives a happy life, and but every once in a while she has this like quiet desperation in the back of her mind.
We're using
But by
the
the
word
way,
happy.
we're using love stories. Like we're not using any like actual biblical knowledge that we have about this. We're just thinking with our hearts with that question. Because unless you believe in soulmates,
I don't.
okay, then what's your answer?
That she would be just as happy with either
And
one.
you don't think so, bro?
I would say outside of the fact that none of these people are striving for
This
a
movie
relationship
believes in
with
soul
Jesus, based on just the relationships of the humanly earthly people. I think I think her mom is happy, but Allie ends up being joyful. Those would be the two differences. You can be like, I would say happy is like, yes, you've got the house, you've got the money, you've got the life. Like, that's not joy.
He says, Gosling says you're bored.
Serious question here.
Paint.
But real question. 6 months later, she's married. She sees the same article in the paper. And she goes out to visit him.
She better not at that point because she knows what she's doing.
I'm just asking.
She better not, and then it's different. Yeah.
Why is engaged different?
Because you've made
Because you're
a
not
vow
married.
in front of the Lord.
on.
No, Marcus,
You're not married.
Marcus,
There's a
time out.
reason. So
You
then what's the
literally
point of
have
getting
said-
married?
you've
If
said-
it's the same, then what's the point of a wedding and getting married?
Yeah, well, you've literally said, for better or worse, no matter what, I'm with you.
I understand that it's different.
Clearly,
This is a
don't.
weird take from you.
No, I get it.
Is it the tattoo?
It's not that weird.
You got a tattoo. You don't even wear a ring now.
I
you're
don't
just
wear a
messing
ring.
with your
It
head.
just looks like a ring.
That's true. We need to get you that asset.
We
tattoo.
gotta get him a mic just so that he can say those little things.
It is different. I'm not completely disagreeing with you, but it's way different.
I'm not
If you
saying it's
believe-
nothing.
If you believe in the sanctity of marriage and that is truly you, a woman, and God in the getting into a relationship,
All right,
that
we've
is-
already talked about sex, right? We've already talked about sex. Is an affair when you're engaged different than an affair when you're married?
One, yes. But
No, it's not.
It is.
It is not married.
It's not.
different.
First of all, it's not an affair at all. It's cheating on your fiance, but it's not an affair. Like,
yes, it is.
no, it's not.
Biblically, it is.
Well, it depends on what you're talking. If you're talking about sex, it's just not right. Period. At all. Period for anybody.
Correct.
So like, the whole sentiment of engagement being the same thing as a marriage, then just be married. Why is there different terms? Why is there a wedding? Why is there a wedding?
Well, okay, you're right. It is different because there's a wedding.
By the way, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt people. I mean, Brett obviously has told his story on the cover. He
Yeah.
got hurt in his engagement.
You're right.
But he wasn't married.
It is different. I shouldn't say it's not different.
I mean, just from sheer... I'm the only one on this podcast that has been divorced. I don't talk about it a lot on the show. It's different being divorced than it is splitting up with a fiance.
yeah, that is different too. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I would say my route a little bit easier.
A little bit.
Little bit easier.
Yeah. I mean, okay. You're fair. That all these things are fair. I'm just.
The word fair is not the word right, and I'm waiting for you to say we're right.
That's not coming on this show.
No,
text us later.
Well, I that you're right that it's.
I get what
different.
you're trying to say about how important it is to not worry about terms when you're in a relationship and you're committed. Doing something wrong is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
yes, I don't
that's
disagree
get
with
that,
that.
and I agree with
However, if you were Allie's dad and she said, I don't think I can marry this guy, but I gave him my word, would you be like, you have to go marry him because you gave me your word?
No, I probably wouldn't.
So I think that's why it's
Exactly.
different. But if you were married,
that's really
but
good.
if you guys were married,
Because that's
then-
what she does say.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
she says to.
No, that's really helpful.
That's what she says to
She says
Gosling.
it
That's
to
what she says-
Gosling,
and he's
yeah.
like, it's not over, and it's still not over.
Well, and I think that's the point of the engagement process is what somebody,
Yes.
one of you, two of you asked
It's
was
probably
like,
Remington.
but
you're gonna do premarital, you're gonna do premarital counseling. You're gonna go through these things. You're gonna go through a period of time
yes.
versus
Yes.
just getting married. That's really good, guys. Thank you.
What-
Good conversation.
You're welcome. It was
Before we-
really good. It wasn't really right. It was really good.
Let me think about it.
It's helpful for me.
It's
look,
helpful. It's helpful.
I don't want to go back.
I have
too
3
far.
daughters. I mean, geez,
Man, you got a lot of kids.
I have 5
so
daughters.
many kids.
I have 3 daughters too. I don't know why I said that. He's got 5.
I have
Alright.
3 sons. Anybody?
No.
You know
Just
why
the
I'm
one.
not? You know what I'm not eating? Why I'm not eating at Harry and Izzy's at the airport? Because I have
You
5
have 5
daughters.
kids?
I have
5
5 daughters.
daughters.
5 daughters. Yeah.
So listen, I have. Will you stop?
I'm not eating at Harry and Izzy's at the airport while I'm going to Budapest.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have 5 daughters.
Exactly. The company that pays me so much money is paying for it. Okay, going back to the scene where there's a montage of her doing all the things with Cyclops. They're doing
Yeah.
all the same things that she did with Gosling. Did you notice that?
I thought he was the prince in
Tell me.
Enchanted.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I like Enchanted.
Remington,
I like
tell me.
Enchanted
Tell me
too.
more.
There's a search for
This
movies
is
you
so
can watch with your kids that are not animated, and Enchanted is a good
Enchanted
one.
is very good. Yeah.
This
That's great. She's sitting in her
dude, where she's sitting in her tub,
In her tub
and
with
she's
her-
using her toe
To turn the water on and
to
off.
turn the
but
water
she's
on
got
and
her
off.
she's got her veil on,
Veil
and she's
on.
staring at the newspaper.
Rem,
This is
tell me-
Kelsey
tell me-
Ramsey.
you
is
said-
who this
so-
is.
You said they're
good.
doing the same things that her and Noah did.
They're rowing. They're going to the movies together. Like they show the same interactions that they show in the first 5 minutes
Yep.
of her dating Ryan Gosling.
They do.
And Kelsey pointed it out. I think she pointed it out. And I noticed that. Well, I didn't notice. I don't know why. Why are they showing that parallelism? Is it to show that she
She's trying
is
to replace
trying
him?
to replace him?
She was surprised. They said
She was surprised she found love again?
Yeah. He.
But why did they show her
the na-
specifically
the
doing the
narrator
same
says-
things
The narrator
with him?
says that she was surprised at how quickly she fell in love with him because he's a great guy.
No, but specifically, why is she doing the same stuff with him? What's the point of that?
Yeah, parallelism. Yes.
To
I
to-
don't have
to
a
replace him?
I don't have a confident answer, but that would be my guess.
But see, I would the only problem I have with that, because I think so too. The only problem I have with that is it wouldn't be the same. She would admit like it wouldn't be enough for her. She'd realize rowing with him isn't the same thing as rowing.
But her belief is he didn't write for a year. He's not interested.
The
He's
rowing-
moved on. He could
okay,
have died
I
in the
get
war.
that. I
for
get
all
all
we know.
that. I'm
is
just
it
saying.
just rowing?
no, it was like 3 or 4 things. I didn't write
Because
them
the
down.
rowing becomes really important
at the end of the movie. Yeah, why? Just because of like the scene
That's just
itself.
where she realizes.
Are those geese or swans?
Dude, I don't know.
There's geese
I
and
actually
swan.
wrote down
There's
ducks.
ducks. So,
But
so there are
ducks? How
no,
did they just
there are
stay
ducks,
there?
No, there are ducks and swans.
is it movie magic?
Like in the actual movie, how they
Yeah.
stay there?
They're just.
I am so sweaty. like I'm gonna have to take a shower.
No, what it reminded me of, honestly, was The Little Mermaid. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't
My,
be
oh my.
shy.
Kiss the girl. We'll never hear a song Kiss the Girl again, sadly. And it's a great jam. It's an awesome jam. The Bible tells me. I was going to go there.
Have you listened to that episode back yet?
No.
You need to. We were singing Jesus Paid It All perfectly.
We were perfect.
I mean, perfect pitch.
Because Remington and I are good singers.
Scene where they're eating dinner at the house right after this. Amazing acting. They're both drinking a beer.
Getting a little tipsy.
This is the place.
This right after.
Right here.
Got it. Yes, this is it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're all like, yeah.
He's like, yep.
He points to the piano.
Yep. This is.
I think her running into the fence here is adorable.
So that was movie magic. She drove there. I feel like she's high class, rich.
Well, how many years?
She has a driver?
7 years?
That's
or
what I'm
women
saying.
don't drive.
Well, a little
Because
bit
her
of
mom
both.
drives too.
In this,
Brett just doesn't
that's
think
true.
that women can drive.
That's
Is that what it is?
That's not true.
40s?
But-
Well, no. So this would have been the era where she did drive. Like this is when women.
because the war
between
happened.
40 and 50s, women started doing everything.
Well, because the war
Except
happened.
she
I'm
drives
sure.
into the fence, which just totally
but
ruins
to be
all of
fair,
it.
Gosling drives into the fence early on in the movie,
I know.
which was, by the way, not written into the movie. That was a
He ran into
That
it.
was an accident, and they kept it.
Oh, that's
Well,
awesome.
he grew up having people drive him around, so he doesn't know how to drive.
You're just making
like Pacino.
excuses for men, just like you did in Barbie.
Listen, men suck.
Wait.
I don't know
No,
what to tell
I
you.
don't get the Noah had people driving him around take.
Yeah, why did Noah have
I don't-
people
I'm just
driving around?
kidding.
Oh, okay, good.
It's a dumb
Good,
joke,
good,
Marcus.
she really did. However, why were curls in the front of your forehead ever a classy thing? Did you guys see the curls
Which
in
one?
Rachel McAdams' forehead? When she's obviously dolled up to go see Noah. Like huge curls right in the
Yeah, what's wrong with that,
front of
man?
her forehead. It's just kind of...
Get over
I
it.
thought she
It's
looked
great.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
beautiful, but that was a weird...
milky white skin, bright red lipstick, just like in Roger Rabbit.
I have so many notes that I have not covered at this point.
We'll cover them.
We have gotten a little distracted this episode, I will say.
Because I'm about to
Like
start the
I wrote, who did it better, P.T. Barnum or Noah?
Hold on. What?
Who did it better,
Did what? Greatest Showman?
P.T. Barnum or Noah?
What?
Remake the house. I know my answer.
Oh, got it. Well, Noah did it with his
he did it with his own bare hands and
Exactly.
carpentry.
That is 100%
And he did it with no
the
money.
answer.
That's super impressive.
Dude, his dad buying him that place
Yeah. Epic.
was awesome.
I hate. Okay, here's what.
Well, where are you gonna live? With you, dummy.
Okay, but
that was so
they
good.
did not establish why he died. All they did is said he died. He died in September. Noah was alone. I hate that. Tell me why. Obviously he
I
was
know.
sick, and that's why he did all this.
But talk about things
Oh.
that...
I think there's a
he
continuity
definitely
issue. They
had-
probably cut a scene.
He definitely had cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Are we okay with him not saying that?
Him buying that place for
I was
Noah
until you
and
said
knowing
something.
that that's what Noah wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Noah just doing it himself.
That moment too,
Incredible.
where somebody's doing you a favor and you want to fight it, and then you finally just give in when he gives his dad a hug. When he's like,
It's
"You
like a
can't do
better
that."
version of the chick from Count of Monte Cristo having the ring on her finger the whole time.
Mercedes.
It's like a better version of that because
One of many better
he
versions.
kept his promise. He kept that promise.
Did we say what we're drinking?
Probably not.
Marcus, what are we drinking?
It's called True Romance.
It's
Is
smoky.
what are we drinking one of the 9 questions?
It's not.
It's not.
It's
What are the
not.
9 questions?
We can't add a ninth question.
9 questions.
I don't think we cover 9 questions.
What's new? What did you know going into it? What's your 30-second synopsis? What made you stop and think? What are your favorite quotes? What are the hidden gems?
And
What's your rating? And what's next?
That's what. That was only 8.
No, that was 9. What's
no,
your,
he had 8 fingers up.
So what are you drinking?
So
is
hold on.
9.
What's next? Rating, hidden gems, quotes. What's next? Rating, hidden gem, quotes. What made you stop and think?
You're missing what did you know going into it?
Oh, there you go.
No, he only had
Hold
eight
on.
fingers.
Hold on. What's your 30-second synopsis? What did you know going into it? What's new, boys?
Do we not have enough questions? We've been asking 8 questions this whole podcast.
Oh, no. What are we covering? What are we covering?
What are we covering?
Oh, what are we covering?
What are we covering, Ren?
But it's
He does
Rem.
says, "What are you covering, Rem?"
So
every time.
basically, we're splitting up a question to 2. Like, what are we covering, and what is your 30-second synopsis?
Because you hated your 30-second synopsises.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but we decided on episode 1 what the 9 questions were.
We cut out something.
what are we drinking has got to be one of the
No,
questions.
we always did what are we covering, but it wasn't always Rem, and then we decided Rem was doing.
Anyway, what are we drinking?
Dude, I'm loving it. It's
You definitely have to have like 7 sips before you start liking
you do. You really do.
Because it is smoky.
You do have to keep coming back to it for sure. It's called True
Like
Romance.
Celine Dion, right?
It's called True Romance. Is
Is
what
that
this
Celine
drink
Dion?
is called. It's
all
got
coming
mezcal.
back
It's all
to me.
coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of... That's the Celine.
Rem, you don't suck.
It might be, but I just don't know Celine Dion.
You
Do they
don't
give
know
you-
Celine Dion?
I don't.
Rem,
Mark,
do they ever
that's
give you a
fine.
mic?
I don't know why I care
when
about
you're
that.
When you're on the worship team, do they ever offer you a mic?
No way.
You talking about me? Yes. Yes, not often. I don't sing. It's just so much. Marcus and I were just talking about
It's one of
this.
those worship teams.
Marcus,
Oh,
okay.
so it's a mic that's not on?
Marcus and I were just talking about this. It is a commitment. It's just a lot because
It's
you
a
have
lot.
to learn harmonies to songs
You're
that
talking
you
to sing?
yeah to sing because
And-
I'm not
and you have
going
to learn them fast.
and you got to I mean you got a week turnaround.
You're essentially a professional musician at the churches we go to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
So the guitar is enough, and I really enjoy playing guitar.
Marcus, you said you have so many notes that we haven't hit on yet.
Dude.
Anything
Wait,
else?
what are we drinking?
Mezcal.
A
It's called
tru-
True Romance.
True Romance.
I've asked. Okay.
It's mostly mezcal.
Why on earth is the True Romance cocktail just a straight smoke man drink? That doesn't
don't
make
know.
any sense.
Maybe it's supposed to be in the closet.
By the way, if we're gonna like, we thought we were gonna get canceled for Barbie. See, it's by the way.
Wait.
I'm trying to
wait,
describe
time
the
out.
drink. Mezcal,
Time out.
Amber Ale.
Time out. You just blended 2 episodes because that's actually Sharon Tate's husband that you're talking about. Yeah, doubles are the best. Doubles are far and away superior.
We should do the double episodes every time. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I wrote first interaction.
First interaction.
With the dad or stepdad.
First interaction with the dad or stepdad.
I wrote stepdad because of my experience with Jessica's stepdad.
Oh, got it.
However, like it's just so interesting that they're making out in the car. The dad clearly sees it.
Yes.
And how
Right now you're
funny-
talking about Allie's dad.
So how funny is it that Allie's dad?
Yep.
So how funny is it that Allie's dad he knows everything that's going on. He's watching this. And our parents clearly knew way more than what we realized
No, I hope not.
at the time. They should have. Because now watching it as a parent, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to let that get by me
Yep.
type of a thing.
100%.
And the dad knows this is happening. She's very flustered. She comes up to the door.
He's smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
He's smoking the cigar. And he says, bring him by the house.
Yeah.
You know?
Sunday. Yeah.
But then she flies in and he snickers.
Yeah. So they meet. They have that. They have the time when she brings him home at 2 a.m.
He's oddly happy for her.
Dude, one of my proudest moments ever
As a dad?
as a man
Okay.
is that so when we were dating / courting, Jessica and I had gone out somewhere, and then we drove back. She had her car parked at the fraternity house.
Mm-hmm.
So we're literally sitting in the parking lot of the fraternity house talking for hours. Because when you're in love,
Yeah.
you guys remember this? You're like
Oh, yeah.
either on the phone, you're texting, you're talking in person. You can talk for hours at the beginning, and just time flies. And I remember multiple times asking her, like, don't you need to leave? Like, don't you need to go? She's like, no, it's fine. And we're just sitting there just talking. It's beautiful. Her mom calls her at 2 a.m. Angry. Because this is a senior in high school and I'm a freshman. And her mom calls her and says, where are you? And she says, no, Mom, it's fine. I'm at the fraternity house.
Yeah, that's a great thing to say.
Wrong answer, Jessica. So then Jessica's mom is mad at me for essentially 24 hours
Yeah.
and says that she's not allowed to see me again.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So I'm not about to have any of that. I drive to her house. And she's working at the time, so she's mad at me for driving over to the house. I walk up, and her stepdad is the first person that I meet.
Okay.
And I shake his hand and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you, or you and your wife, and talk about what happened, take full responsibility, those kinds of things. And he's like, good luck, and sends me to her mom.
Yeah.
And her and myself end up having a conversation that basically says, she comes out of the house very angry, like, how dare you even show up here, type of a thing. I tell her how I'm just glad that she's taking such an interest in her daughter. I'm so sorry that she was late. It's all my fault. If you allow me to see her again, it'll never happen again. Like, I win her over.
Yeah.
Right? And the stepdad basically is like, man, that took some serious balls to show up here, right? But she's my wife and has been for 15 years now.
Was that the pivotal part
That
in
was
the
the
relationship?
moment. That was the
you won
moment.
the relationship?
Yeah. Like, because she wouldn't have been allowed to see me again
Right.
if I wouldn't have done that.
All right, I got a quick story. I just remembered. So I went to Olivet, and we had pretty strict rules. It was a private Christian school in college, and on campus there was no place to just be alone, like just period, with dates. Like there was, but it was like public areas. Like you couldn't do it in the
Producer
dorms.
Nate is nodding his head. It's accurate.
So I was dating this missionary's kid, and I was a pastor's kid. This is going to be a great story for you guys. We just wanted to watch a movie alone with nobody. So I take her out to this cornfield. I kid you not. We're not making out or anything. We're just watching a movie on a portable DVD player in the middle of this cornfield.
Oh, portable DVD player.
In the middle of winter, in the middle of a cornfield in a car.
That took some serious planning.
Freaking cop comes up. And we're we're good kids. We're like fully clothed, like not doing anything. We just steamed up the car because it's like in the middle of winter. He knocks on
What's wrong with you, boy?
Knocks on our window. Knocks on our window
Sure.
and says, can I see some ID? And I give him my ID, but he sees that I have an Olivet ID. He goes, oh, you go to Olivet? Okay. And then he just leaves. True story. But she was so shaken up, she broke up with me, and I never talked to her again.
Oh, how dare
Yeah.
you take me to a
It
cornfield?
ended up being fine. Yeah.
Well, we won't get into mine. Martha is an interesting character to me. I wrote down
who's
She
worse,
is
the
an
mom
interesting
or
character.
Grandpa Joe.
the other woman.
Gosh.
I forgot.
Here we go.
I forgot all about her. Noah forgot all about her. Everyone forgot all about her. However, he never lied to her, and that's why she's handling it so well. Because
Yeah.
she asked him. She's like,
who you forgot about her as a character?
Yes.
Until you watched it again?
No, I forgot about her being in the movie.
That's what I just said.
No. I already. This is after they're already in bed together.
Uh-huh.
and then yes.
watching it.
And then it's like him and Allie are together again. I just forgot she was even part of the movie.
Yeah.
So did he and everything. But he never lies to her.
I was thinking. I'm sorry. I was thinking that Martha was the mom.
Oh, sorry, no.
Apologies.
But she. I mean, she handles it so well because he never.
Oh, the mom has way more redeeming qualities than Grandpa Joe.
So that was what
Way more
I wrote it
redeeming
down.
qualities.
What do you think is the
though.
point?
The mom or Grandpa Joe, because she literally holds back those letters for an entire
Grandpa Joe
year.
from Willy Wonka. For those of
Yeah.
you who are just picking up on the show,
She keeps them. Also, she takes her to the.
by the way, it's
construction site.
unforgivable. I get that.
That's terrible.
But when she explains it, and then when she comes around, it's kind of redeeming.
This is coming from the Grandpa Joe apologist.
I
want to know from Brett.
A Grandpa Joe
Who's worse?
apologist.
You're a Grandpa Joe apologist.
I am.
No,
not.
he's come
Absolutely.
around. He's come around. He's come around. He's come
Okay.
around. He didn't
Screw
realize
that
it at
guy.
first. So
Get me a T-shirt.
here's what I wrote down about her mother. I said, talk about a spin cycle. Did her mom just talk Allie into staying with Noah?
Yeah. And she's vicariously living through her now.
Something, right?
Dude's
wait,
crying.
She talked her into
Chick's
it?
crying.
Tell me this.
Talk
She
her into Noah
drives
for
her-
sure.
she drives her-
Here's the letters.
No,
Make the right choice.
But it's not about the letters. Driving to the construction site, talking about the dude, and then being
just
and then
stops
crying,
mid-sentence.
being like, I know it doesn't look like it now, but back in the day, yeah.
No, she's telling her to make the other decision.
I
No,
don't
she
think
is
so.
absolutely not.
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so.
She's saying make the Noah decision.
No, she isn't.
Yes, she is. The last thing she does is she gives her the letters, hugs her, and says, make the right choice. She doesn't give her the letters if she doesn't want her to marry Noah.
I don't know that
I don't know,
she.
man.
I don't know.
100%.
I
She
don't.
wants her to marry the other guy.
No way.
Nah.
She does
You
not.
just got Marcus Manga to say, I don't know. Well done. Number one. Number two. I don't
This
know.
has been a growing episode for Marcus.
I don't know.
Who knew? Who knew?
I don't know that she genuinely wanted her to pick Noah.
Who
but she-
won the wet T-shirt contest? Ryan Gosling, or Rachel McAdams?
She's on Peters.
But she definitely wanted to put all of her cards out there and let Allie make
that what
whatever
she wanted to
decision
put
was
out there?
better for her. Yeah. Oh jeez. Oh gosh.
Oh, man.
Dude, that rain is intense. How many hydrants did they use of water?
Okay, so we talk about Oscars all the time.
It's hard to do a rain sequence like this.
crazy.
By the way, so the
That's very
Oscars, we talk
difficult.
about the Oscars all the time. The Oscars is actually happening tonight during this recording.
Right now.
But there's tons
won?
of other awards that movies can win. One of them being the Teen Choice Awards. This movie cleaned up at the Teen Choice Awards.
The Sheen's choice.
The Teen Choice Awards.
I'm not gonna bring up the reason why I think they cleaned up because I've been told I'm not allowed to.
No, it's just that it's.
You've been told
it's
you're not
teen-
allowed to.
Yep.
Wow, Brett.
It's all the kissing scenes. It's all the it's all the dreamy
romance.
It's all the romance for the teenagers. I mean, it's literally the Teen Choice Awards. Like this movie should be that compared to Oscars.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Like, do you think this should have won Oscars?
You know
I mean,
who-
it did. It
I
did
don't
win.
know.
Okay,
Gosling,
you know who won actor in a leading role?
For this year.
Yeah.
Who?
Adrian Brody.
Over Gosling?
No.
Oh, you're talking about right now?
Right now.
Oh, in what movie?
The Brutalist. It probably cleaned up.
Interesting.
I would love to know who won over Gosling and
Kieran
McAdams
Culkin
this
won
year.
in Real Pain.
This is
Did he win?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Wow.
04. This is 04.
This is 04.
Yeah, because acting wise, I don't know, man. This is tough to beat.
It's just not the kind of movie that would win.
These are good actors. It's just not. It's so predictable.
The Oscars. You have to have a very dark subject line or ominous movie.
Did you in 04? Because you definitely do today.
Sure.
I don't know if you did in 04.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Or
it has to be epic,
is
like
it
the Titanic. or
Is
something.
it better or worse that we know they ended up together because of the nursing home, because of him telling a story? Do you think it would have been a better movie if we didn't know
No.
they end up together?
No,
or
the
it's better
whole
because
point is the nursing home. The whole point I was thinking about this because if you're watching the movie because you want to see young love and you want to see young, attractive actors loving and making out and all that, then this is not your movie. At least not the ending, because the ending is very sentimental.
It's real.
It's in the nursing home.
Yep.
It's death. It's real love and sacrifice. He's sitting there and she's going, what if I can't remember ever again? What if I'm done? What if I'm just a walking corpse, basically? And he's like, I'll never leave you. I'll never leave your side. And like, you're watching this sacrifice.
I love it too, because Rachel McAdams cries her heart out leaving Noah's house to go talk to Lon, and all of her eyeshadow and makeup's off. And she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And in that scene, I'm like, ooh. Oh, I
when
love
she's
my
talking to
wife.
Lon?
I right before she talks to him in the car, she has like no, and she's no longer Rachel McAdams. And I look at Riley and go, I've never realized how much I love you. You could have no makeup on, all the makeup on.
Doesn't matter.
29 winter coats on at one time. Does not matter. Rachel McAdams, I was turned off in 29 seconds.
We had these neighbors growing up that...
That's a great segue. Megan's about to tell a 5-minute story about something completely unrelated.
No, it's not unrelated. Their names were...
But it is 5 minutes.
Oma and Owen.
Oma
and Owen. Very old, right? Lived... I was out in the country, but they lived like half a mile away. In between me and
your neighbor.
In between me and my grandparents.
Yep.
But they were neighbors, and I always used to sell them stuff for school or whatever. And he used to say that he was going to die after his wife. Okay? And I'm not kidding you when I say...
Oh, you mean like immediately?
His wife died, and he died the next day.
That's wild.
And like... His whole
that's
thing,
actually not a common thing, but broken heart is a real thing.
His whole thing was, I'm going to make sure that I take care of her until she dies. And he died day after her.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was, and I've thought about that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because it happened when I was a kid.
Yeah.
There's a Ben Folds song that's like that. And I just, like, if I could figure out a way to die like that, I think that'd be awesome.
Ben Folds writes some really meanuful music. I haven't listened to him in
You
a
love
long
Ben
time.
Folds.
It's
You
been
got
like,
me on Ben Folds.
It's been like 20 years since I listened to Ben
he's
Folds.
like crazy, super liberal, but man, he writes some really meaningful music.
Yeah, Landed.
So my last what made me think was that there was a moment where I thought Noah was being selfish, putting Allie through all of this in the nursing home for his 5 minutes of old Allie every day he could get her there. Yes. Like, because think about what she goes through and what all the doctors and nurses have to go through every time she's coming down from that. But then, and I think it's the reason why they included it, is the letter she wrote. She wrote the book he's reading.
Dude. Oh my god.
She wrote the book he's reading, and she said, read this to me so I remember. And then I'm like, all right, he's off the hook. He's off the hook. It's no longer selfish. It's no longer like she's literally asking him to.
The twist, and maybe it's not a twist, maybe everyone else knew. I did not know it was coming, is that she wrote it.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
But it changes
she
everything.
wrote it.
And I honestly think if I'm a director, if I'm a producer and I watch the whole movie, there's a chance I'm thinking the audience believes Noah's actually being selfish doing this.
Sure.
I add that in.
I get that.
I absolutely add that in. I think it changes everything.
When you realize and then you picture Rachel McAdams finding out she's sick and then writing this.
Yeah.
Like, where's the Kleenex?
Yeah. Pretty great. Any other thoughts before we get to quotes?
No, we got some quotes and I got some
I
hidden
just
gems.
can't believe that I haven't seen it, but Nora won Best Picture.
You're naming so many movies I haven't seen that I'm about to. It's great.
Nora.
They will all be on the plane.
I don't know. Based on what I'm reading, you should not watch Nora on the plane.
So one of my favorite quotes was right off the bat. It wasn't Noah, but it was another guy at the nursing home. I keep trying to die, but they won't let me.
That was the first quote I wrote down.
Really?
The very first one?
Science can only go so far. That's when God takes over.
When he's selling
also in the nursing
the doctor.
Home. Yep. Yeah, that doctor is like, we've all had doctors just like that, and that's okay. Like
it's their job.
They're playing their role.
Yeah. Whenever somebody
I know
says
enough doctors that I went to college with for me to not trust doctors.
Do you guys? What are the scenes or quotes in this? Did you guys tear up at all?
Oh yeah.
I did not. I loved the movie. I did not tear up.
I tear up every time I watch this movie.
Okay, so what parts? Do you remember distinctly what makes you tear up? While you're thinking about it, I'll tell you one that really gets me is this line. The kids are there, and she meets them.
Yeah.
And then she goes in, and then the kids try to talk him out of like living there. Like, hey, come back and like, what are you doing,
That
Dad?
gets me every time.
And he goes, look, guys, that's my sweetheart in there.
Yeah, like you've had like
that's my sweetheart.
Like I have to stay with her. You do your thing. You do your life. I agree with you.
That line.
That gets me every time.
There's not part of you that's like, dude, you also have a responsibility to your kids.
No,
not once they have their own.
Riley and I talked about this. Riley and I talked about this.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a responsibility because I've often told people, I'm like, hey, my parents mean more, not more, but I need my parents right now. Like I need them for like these parenting issues that I have, like grandparents in the grandkids' lives. Like I need them. Like I do. Like they're even more important as a parent in my life. I feel like, I mean, they were very important back then. However, like if one of them had to take care of the other one, that's way more important. Your responsibility to your spouse.
That is significantly more important.
And by the way, that is them helping me.
I don't disagree, but you don't feel like you could do both?
Sure. He's not calling them and not talking to them.
I don't know.
Why does he have to be in the room with them?
No. That's just the vibe that I got was that
he knew all those kids. He knew all the grandkids.
Sure.
Riley and I disagreed on this one.
I bet he sees them the same amount that I see my grandparents at holidays.
Wait, you two as a couple disagree?
Us two disagree with your take on this.
No,
that he should be back home taking care of his grandkids?
No. That he can do both, and I think they made it very obvious he's not. His kids would.
How can he do both? He has to be there every day to retell the story. He's literally reading her the story every day.
Can he be a great parent and grandparent if that's what he's doing?
No.
Okay, so if that's your answer, that's fine. If that's what you want to say.
Hold up. Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Okay, Brett, how often do you talk to your grandparents or my grandparents?
I talk to your grandparents way more than I talk to my grandparents.
Okay, which is not a lot. Are they great grandparents? They're as good as they can be in their state, and they're necessarily taking care of each other. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I talk to my grandparents, but I want them taking care of each other.
For sure. And by the way, those kids should be taking care of their parents, not the other way around. They're not in a state that dude's dying. It's not even her that's dying. She just has dementia.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
dying.
Yeah, he's had all these strokes and everything.
Yeah.
It was interesting that he has a stroke, and again, I guess
he's taking all these medicines.
He goes to the hospital when he has a stroke. But wouldn't your family be there
at the hospital?
But they didn't show the hospital. I guess they just showed the nursing home.
At the hospital.
I'm guessing they're at the hospital. I'm not. I definitely still disagree. But yes, you're right. The you've got your life and your main priority is your spouse, and I agree with that 100%. But I don't know. There's something to that.
I don't think he's doing anything wrong.
Once your children get married, they have created their own family.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is something that's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But once your son marries a daughter, or your daughter marries, or once your son marries someone, or your daughter marries a guy.
Your son marries your daughter.
Thank you. What I was trying to say was, what I'm trying to say is that that's not your son. Like if your daughter marries someone, it's not your son.
Correct.
It's their family.
Right.
If you're
on the outside of their story.
You're on the outside of the story that they are creating.
Right.
And
which is why I think those kids need to be the ones taking care of their grandparents.
Your first priority has to be to your spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's
it
necessary.
just felt like it was his only priority.
Well, in that moment, like we talk about being unbalanced, there's a time for everything. Like there's a time where you have to give someone, like we know parents that have kids that have special needs. And there's times where their other kids suffer from that because it is necessary for them to spend all their time and effort on that one kid during that time.
Yeah.
And that's just like, that is the story. That is what is given to you.
It is even if she. So that's the other point I made was, even if she hadn't wrote the book and asked him to read it to him every day to remember, looking at how most people live with dementia and how everybody stays away from them.
Dude, have either of you had dementia?
Yeah, my grandpa
Dude,
did.
so
Yeah, my
bad.
great grandpa.
It's awful. The long
well,
goodbye.
And it happens so fast.
Well, and the switch to anger is
and they
it's
typically
scary.
take it out on their caregiver.
Yeah.
very
but
sad.
I think seeing how she lives when he's got the heart attack and in the hospital, she's by herself. There's nobody around.
He's being wheeled out and she doesn't even know who it is.
Yes, it's like seeing that's the other option, even though it comes with I think they call it sundowners, is when kind of they jog back into dementia land.
Are we still in quotes? Because
yes, we are.
That she's playing by memory.
Yeah.
Kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me.
And he says it with, he's not even being egotistical. He's just saying it right after this dude said she's not going to remember anything.
It kills me, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
When
You can
he
read
says-
music. No
when-
kidding.
When he says that she's playing by memory, and she's playing that same.
That's your moment. That's your.
Dude, it's one of. I
I
mean,
always get that song mixed up with a horror movie.
Because
it kind of sounds like a horror prelude in E.
It's melancholy,
Yeah.
right? It's very melancholy, and yeah, that kills me.
All right, I got a lighter one. You got one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's from Lon when he's in his cast. Before you say no, I'll let you
So
know I'm
good.
an incredible dancer and my intentions are completely dishonorable.
So good,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, he's a great character.
He's great.
Yeah.
She should have married him.
I agree.
Because I knew that was your take. Trash, trash, trash. Not for you. Kelsey says that on a weekly basis.
What?
That's the mom. That's what she says
Oh,
to
okay,
Rachel
got it.
McAdams. Trash, trash, trash. Not for you.
I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings.
Kelsey tells that to you.
Yeah.
You're Muncie trash. Is that what it is?
Muncie.
These indie people.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Marcus is indie people.
No, I'm not indie people.
No.
Jeez.
Kelsey is. I'm not afraid to hurt
yeah.
your feelings.
Kelsey.
They have a 2-second
We're
rebound
very
rate.
against it.
They have a 2-second rebound rate, and then you're next to doing the next pain in the butt thing.
Kelsey Ramsey. Keep going.
Dude, how this isn't a quote, but I guess it is when when they're first about to do it and she's talking about all the things she's thinking about.
Yes.
What are you thinking
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
What are you thinking right now?
By the way-
he's like, I'm thinking about exactly one thing.
Like, what do you think about right now? Like, not even in just those situations, just any situation.
They nailed that, by the way.
That was great acting.
Because for him, it's like I'm not thinking about anything. I'm thinking about exactly one thing, and she's thinking about a million things.
Yes.
I'm sorry, babe, but
What's that book? Guys are waffles, girls are spaghetti.
yeah.
Yeah.
Men are like waffles, women are like spaghetti. Yeah.
This is a classic teen rom-com line, but it's hard not to love it. She goes, "Now say you're a bird. If you're a bird, I'm a bird." That's a good rom-com line.
Got her.
She gets really
That's when she knew.
giddy in that scene.
Yeah.
She plays it very well. Any
Who,
more
Riley?
quotes?
You tell me when I'm being an arrogant SOB, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass. I just love the idea that it's like we argue. That's what we do.
Yep.
That was pretty fun.
It was really fun. More quotes, Rem?
I just found this one. I don't know what the context is. You don't know me, but I know me. That's Noah. I don't know when he says that or why.
I don't know why this quote was that I wrote down, but it was from Jessica, and it was, "That's gross."
We're going to move on to hidden gems.
Just want to make sure I get that in there.
I got two big ones. Go.
My movie magic, everything about his access to Allie in the nursing home, but I don't care. It's a great movie. I loved it.
That's
Didn't
crazy.
ruin
You
it
guys
for me.
must have had some very real interactions with nursing homes. To come
Oh,
up
dude,
with that.
we went every year and sang Christmas carols to him, and the girls do at Christmas time now.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
It's definitely not happening.
How about hidden gems? A Ferris wheel. We talked about it already, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Easter
yeah.
eggs.
come on.
Yeah.
Okay, a movie magic moment for you. When she hands him the letters, that's like 50 letters, not 365
Yeah, it's not
letters.
365. It's not.
No mail on Sundays.
Like, do you think she sorted through
Oh,
them? And
So
like,
is that a movie magic or
it doesn't
a
matter.
hidden
It's
gem?
365. He said he wrote her a day every day.
So they would have got 2 every Monday.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 every Monday.
Yeah, I wrote down 1 letter for a year, and then I wrote a year.
Yeah. 365 letters.
I wouldn't.
I would have
write-
done that.
I don't think I would have.
Yes, you would have. For Jessica, you would have. Absolutely.
You're probably right.
I'm looking out for you, buddy. Okay, here's 2 fun facts for you
probably
separately. Ryan Gosling prepared for his role by living in Charleston before the filming began. For 2 months, he rode
Dude,
every single morning
Charleston.
and built furniture during the day.
Dude, Charleston.
Can you
is an
imagine if
amazing
all
town.
you did for 2 months was build furniture and learn from?
You'd
like,
be a
That sounds
peaceful,
great.
connected.
amazing.
You'd be great.
Like, he puts together that house. Like, it's one thing to like have money, and I think about like I think Nate does a great job of this because like he will literally learn every craft on
Yeah.
YouTube and just do it.
I know.
And if you were to pay someone to do that exact thing, including like it's like 10x.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just learn how to do the thing, you can have the same thing that other people have. Now, personally, I like to just pay for it sometimes
Because-
I don't have the time to do it.
Because-
I mostly decide to pay for it.
Because
But there's sometimes where I do the craft, and I really appreciate doing the craft when I do
agree.
it.
Yeah.
Remington didn't say why.
Oh, okay.
It's because he's the rich one on the podcast.
Okay.
Another hidden gem. Another hidden gem that I wrote down
Oh, is that funny, Marcus?
was do either of you know how to row a boat? And I'll tell you why I asked this question in a second.
I wrote a kayak.
But do you know how to row a boat?
Yes, I've done it with you.
I've done a canoe.
we've
I've done a
rowed
kayak.
together.
Is it different than a canoe or a kayak?
Yes, very different.
You're talking about with 2 rows.
Yes,
You're talking about 2
you're
rows,
rowing a
and-
boat,
and they're, like,
like
connected,
Noah was
like they're-
rowing a boat.
Yes. What about it?
Do you know how to do it? Have you done it before?
Yes.
I've
You're
never
you're
rowed
going
a
backwards,
boat.
but yes.
I've done a kayak and I've done a canoe.
Okay. So no and yes.
Yes.
This summer we were camping at Lincoln State Park with the Allens, and we went out fishing and rowing a boat. And so I'm out rowing this boat. I've got the kids in there,
I wish the audience could see your face right now.
and I'm gonna throw him under the bus a little bit, but he's my best friend, so it is what it is. Elliot, once he's like, "Hey man, I can row this boat." He goes to row it, and he can't figure it out because it's windy and it's not easy, and he's never done it before. And I've done it many times, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
And he can't figure out how to row this boat.
Okay.
Right? Later, they get off, and it's just me and Colby. And Colby wants to row back.
Oh.
And Colby gets
Crushes it.
She crushes it. 10-year-old Colby rows all the way back
man.
home.
That hurt
And
the
I
old
felt
pride.
very bad for
Bad.
him.
So,
so funny.
you're going backwards, obviously. But besides that, is it different than rowing? You got 2.
You got 2 oars. so
You,
you're-
you push them out,
Put them in.
and then they're going this way.
Yep.
And they go in. And
but then
you
like going
pull.
into the water
Yeah.
and then pulling, like it's not.
It's
but then
not-
they can get
it's not
sideways.
intuitive.
Like
it's,
you have to.
It's not intuitive.
It's a learned motion.
and you do have to figure it out.
Got it.
But but because Elliot was thinking that he knew how to do it, and Colby was learning how to do it, it was very different.
Yeah.
All right, I
It
got
was
one more
really
hidden gem.
funny.
Rachel McAdams also spent time in Charleston during the pre-shoot and took ballet and etiquette classes to and a dialect coach to like learn a Southern accent.
Dude,
just
they-
to, like
they go all
they
in,
go all
man.
in. And
Have
I
you
think
guys-
there's certain rules where they do it more than others. I think if it's like the book was, I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing The Notebook was a massive hit as a book.
Oh, it's been a very big hit. Yeah.
You know, and then so like going into it like it's a big deal.
Have you guys been to Charleston? It's
No,
a
but-
killer town.
Right.
I think I would enjoy it a lot.
Awesome
Right.
town. Very,
Yeah.
very, very, very cool town. Rating time. I am an 8.7.
I'll be exactly the opposite.
7.8.
7.8.
I'm an 8.5. This is up there.
To me, it's in the same exact realm as the Marvel movies.
It's great for what it is.
Really? Do you
you're-
have a rom-com or chick flick that you like that's like in the 8s or a 9?
Maybe not.
I love it because if someone
So this
listened,
is the top of the rom-coms for you.
Oh yeah.
if someone listened to the podcast
Well, yeah.
and then guessed our ratings, I think the audience would guess you, Marcus, would have had the highest rating.
Interesting.
Do you agree?
Well, yes, but also like I get what he's saying. Like,
Right, no,
it's not his jam.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because hearing
That's interesting because the way you put it specifically is Marvel. Because I get that. I'm like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie, I'm not typically gonna first pick a Marvel. Like I want a classic. I want something.
But
like
if I
that.
watch
But
it,
if I watch
I'll
I'm
enjoy it.
entertained and I enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get that. I personally am pretty romantic about the Notebook.
is Marvel in Pirates category of it's nice to have on while I'm doing chores.
No, yeah, cleaning the house.
I can't put the Notebook on while I'm.
Hence, I said Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, man.
What's next?
Are you gonna tell them all the big ones? All the ones that we discovered?
We can get into it.
Yeah, tell me all of them.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have the next 4.
Let's do it.
11 Rings.
Did you get the right changes?
Phil Jackson's book about his 11 championships as a coach. 5 with the Lakers.
Does he have to wear one on his toe?
This
Yeah,
movie,
one of them's a toe ring.
This book was recommended by Drew, our good friend Drew.
Have you ever read
from
it?
Cleveland.
And I'm disappointed because I'm not a big fan of this book.
Oh man,
What?
I read it and
This
I'm
is the
listening
first
to
time
it.
you've read it?
Yeah,
Oh man, I love this
it.
book.
I love
not
it
a
too.
big fan.
Now, granted, I read it in high school, so maybe I won't be a fan this time around.
I enjoy it. 11 Rings, Inception. After that, Jurassic Park.
Boom! What a great movie!
is
so
great.
good.
What a great movie!
This is a really
and
good
the
pick.
animatronic, like the graphics, still hold strong today.
Yeah.
Do you? I always think that until I watch it.
I watched it last year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
and it holds strong
like
today.
the toilet scene.
It's good.
Jurassic Park is a good pick. I'm excited about
so
this.
Jeff Goldblum is in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Dude, he's in Prince of Egypt as
Yeah.
Aaron.
Dude,
Yeah.
Prince of Egypt. So Brett,
Prince of
you're way
Egypt.
behind on
You're
the Prince
so
of Egypt.
behind on
By
the
the way,
Prince
By
we
the way,
should cover.
I'm
the Prince
listening.
of
By the way,
Egypt.
the two people telling me I'm behind on the Christian movie are the two kids who grew up in the Christian bubble.
I know.
So
I'm just saying, like we've talked about how great of a movie it is before.
it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's a fan favorite for us.
blows me away. The soundtrack.
The soundtrack,
it's
the
very- the whole thing.
actors,
Wow.
the production.
Wow,
It's
blown away.
very good.
And the
That's
actors-
another Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Is it really?
He plays Pharaoh.
Man, they do a really good job. And then Tick Tick Boom, which were very exciting for Remington.
my
Yeah,
first-
watch
you've seen
watch
it?
this
Yeah.
movie. If you listen to the podcast faithfully and you haven't seen this movie, watch it before we cover it.
Okay.
And then
Tick Tick Boom.
for Easter week, Passion of the Christ. I'm very interested to see what we end up talking about most during that.
Actually, I am too. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, and then
How are we gonna make this funny?
we'll see you next week.